I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Green Bay Packers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, this is such a special place. You drive through the streets of Green Bay, no tall buildings, quaint houses, and then boom, right there in the middle of the neighborhood is iconic Lambeau Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Green Bay Packers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead. And we're off in week 2. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading them out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, Deshaun Watson.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
With DeAndre Hopkins, I think anyone who's calling plays for him has 0 limitations. And what I mean by that is he's a guy you can move outside, you can move him inside, play him on the left side, on the right side. It doesn't matter. Some guys, they have to have the ball in a certain spot. Not Hopkins. Long, short, intermediate. He just wants the football. And then after that, he usually does some pretty good damage with run after catch.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dean Lowry. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. 3rd and long, it's Watson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
That's taken on the 25. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Let's go. Jump out. 55.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Quickly now, here's a look at the Green Bay offense.
It's tough to be an offensive lineman in Green Bay because their quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, knows how to keep plays alive and often extends them for 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds. But David Bakhtiari, his left tackle, he does it as well as anyone could ever expect. Excellent footwork. Knows that the plays are going to stay alive for a long time. Often will get 2 or 3 blocks on the same play.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Rodgers. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson, and they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Now the pass hauled in by Kenny Stills. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the stick. It's moving.
That's caught out wide by Stills. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. On first down, it's Watson. And Stills bringing it in. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Kenny Stills, his first touchdown of the new season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Great corner route there, not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. The defensive crew for the Texans. Here's a look.
Versatile players on defense are all the rage in the NFL, but it also helps to have a Benardrick McKinney who does one thing very, very well, and that's tackle ball carriers. Big man, big size inside, looks like a defensive end playing inside linebacker, still has the ability to run and cut runners off before they can get downfield.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for his running back, Aaron Jones, that time. And it's 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. They've had touchdowns on both of their drives thus far, but now they face a 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And that will be incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from it. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Watson. It's complete. Stills. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And this unit, very tough to throw against. Currently 2nd best in the NFL.
And, hey, they were stingy in the opener. Didn't allow much of anything at all through the air. So now they come into week 2 saying, hey, let's see if we can do even better. Let's go ahead and get to that number 1 spot.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. To throw is Watson. And this is going to be incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Meanwhile, on the NFL scoreboard, a game going on in Chicago. Early on, it's the Vikings in the driver's seat. Kirk Cousins leading the way offensively. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier. Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally down at the 36-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Because you miss those first 2, but you get up the 0 for 4 range. That can be a little tricky, but able to settle in, hopefully.
Yeah, now you won't have any confidence issues. Now you can kind of get it back even with just one throw.
And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Rodgers firing quickly here, and that's complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. Rodgers to throw once more. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up 2nd down.
He's got the hook up to Lazard. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. So backed up to the 6 now, 3rd and goal.
Eyes on 13. Eyes on 13. Tight end right. Tight end right. Shed.
And again, it's Rodgers. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. Then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand.
Let's go.
And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 41-yard line.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
The Pro Bowler Chris Harris is in on the tackle. Defensively, though they had a chance there to hit him for a loss, couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Watch the safety creep.
Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. These two teams all tied after one. Now Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Watson now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Back to throw, Watson. That's complete to his tight end, Higbee. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
To throw again on 2nd down. Watson toward the pylon, caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Jimmy Graham, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Texans have taken the lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Packers get set to go. They trail a one-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Here's Rodgers to throw. This complete to Jones. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it's a 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Throwing is Rodgers. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Let's go. Under 10, under 10, 10. Get 300, get 300.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. That's caught. It's Robert Tonyan, the tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Adams hauling it in from Rodgers. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. Rodgers now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And incomplete. He dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there. 2nd down. He was a 2nd-round pick. Many scouts thought he could have gone higher than that.
And I was one of them. Even though I don't scout for any particular team, I had a 1st-round grade on him. And frankly, I'm surprised he lasted to the 2nd round. They got a steal with this player.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup. That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Come get some. Come get some. Come on, come get some. Here,
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Got a man. It's Tanyan complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
They go play action here on first down. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And it's a Packers touchdown. Aaron Jones, his first touchdown of the new season, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. See, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going... Going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Johnson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front and then maybe a guard can slide up to the second level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Watson now to throw. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to regain the lead. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about.
Watson's pass complete to number 10, DeAndre Hopkins. Touchdown, Houston.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead is now 21-14. Fielded about a yard deep. And terrific field position here as they finally get him just shy of the midfield stripe.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Let's go. Mike, 55.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers looking deep for Adams. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
55 is my guy, 55. All you get is a headache. All you get is a headache.
Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Don't get nervous. Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike. Hey, get in the weight room.
Rodgers now on first down. This one complete to Tanyan underneath. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Rodgers going to try and throw on third down. And he comes back with one complete. Well, they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Escaping the pressure right to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Robert Tanyan was the one he was looking for, and it's second down.
Terrific coverage in the end zone that time. Forced him out of the pocket to his right. I thought maybe try and run it there, but no one came open for him. Nice job by the defense of not getting out of their lanes.
To throw again on second down. Rodgers, he completes it to Jones. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones with his second touchdown here in this first half, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, you string them together, could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Big stop. Let's go.
Here's Watson. Open man is Higbee, the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Watson now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. And Stills bringing it in. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game as his guys have now moved out in front. Well, that's a heck of a response to regain the lead after we had seen the touchdown to tie the game.
I would say what we just saw there was a great amount of poise, because typically when teams tie the game up, it's a little bit of a, how would you say, you kind of take a step back and have to get yourself regrouped. They regrouped in a hurry, didn't they? They attacked back after they'd been tied.
And in a big way, that was a statement-long touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
To throw again, Rodgers. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
That's how we do it.
So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin out in the windy city of Chicago, and as they approach halftime, it's the Bears who are out in front. Mitchell Trubisky has thrown a touchdown pass there. From there, we'll head to Pittsburgh to check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals were losers in their opener, trying to get back on level footing as they lead on the road. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last as we head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. And they have the lead over the visiting Washington Redskins. A touchdown pass there for Jameis Winston. In the game you're watching, it's Deshaun Watson, who is the star of the first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up. And we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for second down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
The throw over the middle taken in. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So they come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones to the 40 and no further. The razzle-dazzle, though, got him a couple extra on the play. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. Touchdown, Packers! Allen Lazard, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Extra point try now for Crosby. He's got it. This thing's turning a bit wild here. We're tied at 28. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You've got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They go to Johnson again. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Watson with a catch made by Johnson. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Whitney Merciless barreling in. For the sack.
The tackle made back at his own 6-yard line.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. To throw is Rodgers. Caught by Jones. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it a 3-yard gain. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. Returnable here from the 38. 51 yards on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Out of the gun, Watson. It's complete. Stills. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
The 1st down carry here for Johnson. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On 2nd down and 4, Watson, and he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked the ball off yet. That probably should have been their first, and it's 3rd down now. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. To throw is Watson, and he finds Stills, complete. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? You got to try to go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now the pass hauled in by Kenny Stills, and they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on third down. From the gun, here's Watson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. It's another touchdown pass for Deshaun Watson, his 5th of the afternoon, as they have taken the lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. He has been on his A game. We're in the third quarter. He's already in search of touchdown pass number 5.
He's played so well that it's hard for me to take my eyes off of him, even when he's not on the field. I keep finding my eyes finding him on the bench in between series, wondering what he's going to do next. This has been a blast to watch him play the position.
He's been spectacular with those 4 touchdown passes. Again, it's Jones. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back now at Lambeau. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4.
Hey, take 26.
On first down, Rodgers. He's going to float this over. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Packers. Robert Tonyan, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with an extra point.
The receivers have been running them ragged, maybe some tired legs in the secondary, maybe some tired legs in the pass rush. Didn't get to it, and look what resulted. A touchdown, tie game. They've got a chance to take the lead.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Going to run the sweep here. This is Hopkins. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. The Texans on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
We got 4. We got 4.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Yeah, boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Boy, an incredibly aggressive move to go for it there. Game tied 4th quarter. You got to be surprised.
I am, and I know that we're in a new era of football where we look at the analytics sometimes, and a lot of the time the analytics tell you to go for it, right? But do the analytics take into account game situation, where we are, all those things? In this situation, I thought it was an incredibly aggressive play.
It didn't work out, and again, tie game 4th quarter makes this thing a little bit more interesting. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. He's got to hook up to Lazard. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Over the middle, it's complete. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a 1st down due to the previous penalty. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Throwing now is Rodgers. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 29-yard line. When we see another great performance like this out of Aaron Rodgers, you have to chuckle thinking that his only FBS offer was a walk-on at Illinois.
And now he's the pride of Butte Junior College, of course at Cal. And I remember watching him play at Cal, and he would run 7-on-7 drills. Angry if the ball ever hit the ground, and didn't do it very often.
It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the 1st.
They should put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. All that, and it only nets him a yard. It's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
The Packers on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Got a man. It's Tanyan complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the first down marker at the 11. Just a 5-yard pickup, but it leads to 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Watson off play action. It's complete to Fuller. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now it's Watson. And the catch made by Hopkins. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Watson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the gun, Watson. He finds his man Johnson. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson. That's complete to his tight end Higbee. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are.
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Duke Johnson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have retaken the lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. A field goal does him no good. They need a touchdown.
And right now, in his mind, in his memory bank, he's drawing on times that he's done this before. Not necessarily in the NFL. College, high school, pee-wee ball, wherever. Anything positive that he remembers about taking a team downfield with a chance to win, he's going to draw on that for this drive.
I'm sure that these guys live for these moments. Here we go. On 2nd down and 4, Rodgers. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. Got a man. It's complete. Williams. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 43.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
Now Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 19 yards there on the catch and run. The two big plays, one after the other. Now all of a sudden, they're on the march.
Got to feel good about what they've just gotten done, and now feel really good about what's in front of them.
40. Blue 58. I'm coming.
Back to throw, Rodgers. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Back to throw. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. He takes it to the 15. A nice display of power. That gives him a nice pickup. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. He'll look to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
That's a nice job right there, partner, because they were able to work down the middle of the field, working in the seams, because I think defensively they were guarding the sidelines, trying to keep them from getting out of bounds. They took what they gave them, and it was successful.
They'll look to throw, and this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
How many people watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
That game has gone final in Foxborough, and it was the Patriots that wound up winners in that one. Tom Brady, good game throwing the ball, over 300 passing yards. So Deshaun Watson in the offense, down by a field goal, 23 seconds to go. They need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up first and 10. Watson now to throw. He's got Fuller. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10.
Keep 15.
Now it's Watson. Open man is Higbee, the tight end. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Check safety.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. This to potentially send us to overtime. And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good. Well, it would have been a long one, but that was the spot that they put themselves in, Charles, forcing him to try from long distance, and he comes up empty.
And you know what happens oftentimes when you're trying to kick a little bit beyond your range, you overkick it, right? Don't get all of it. In this situation, they cannot point fingers at him. They've got to go back and examine their play calls, how they tried to traverse the ball down the field, and why they didn't get bigger chunks of yardage in order to set up a field goal that was much more manageable.
Yeah, because 5 to 10 yards there could have made a world of difference. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking, they think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Green Bay, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Houston, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.